to cover two major things for our School of Education partners. First, to walk through the hiring school experience. So we wanted to show you a typical experience from the hiring school perspective, how they reach out to candidates, how they would reach out to your students, just to give you perspective of what the experience is like on Selected, and also give you insight into the type of information that we ask of candidates and students to make the hiring process so much easier for both sides. The second thing we'll talk about is the candidate experience in creating a resume, in creating a profile, again, showing how easy it is to get started on Selected, to connect with those schools in their region, and potentially many schools outside the region to the extent that they are interested in really teaching anywhere in the country. So first, the hiring school experience. And so what I've done here is create a profile for a public school in New York City, a K through 12 school. And what you'll see here is currently there are about 843 candidates actively seeking roles in public schools in New York City. All of these candidates are actively seeking jobs and have been approved by Selected. So for example, this individual was active on the site 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago. This is a living, breathing candidate pool. And what I mean by approved by Selected, they go through, candidates on Selected go through an approval process. We support many of these candidates in their questions in creating a resume. How can they improve their profile? That's what we do at Selected to make sure the candidates are best positioned for being hired. First, I will start with how schools find candidates, and then I'll jump into what a typical candidate profile looks like. So schools can filter by a variety of elements. So for example, they can filter by institutions attended. This is just a short list of our School of Education partners that you can filter by as a hiring school and just sort and find those candidates from specific institutions that you may care about more, or those are in your region. Program partners such as Teach for America, even Operation Socrates. They're a new organization that we added that serves active military and veterans who are interested in transitioning into teaching roles. You can sort by various roles that candidates are looking for, everything from teachers to TAs, subs, student teachers, school leaders, and social workers. Schools can also filter by years of experience, certification, of course, grade level, subject, courses. Subject is at a high level, such as gen ed, math, SPED. Courses are at the individual course level, such as chemistry, physics, algebra. In additional instructional skills, candidates can select various instructional skills that they have training in or experience in, and so we'll highlight their candidacy even more. We are focused just on K through 12 and helping schools and teachers connect. It's also free. It's a free service for candidates. We never charge candidates anything for creating a profile on Selected. And schools can filter by other things such as current location of the teacher and prior experience. So going back to a typical candidate profile, one that a student of your school may create, a school can just pop right. So this is what we call a baseball card. It highlights their key attributes. Subject, cert, education, years of experience and availability. A school can click right into their profile. This is a more expanded view of their resume and a standardized view of the resume. Same things, except a little more detail, including instructional skills. And if a school's interested in your student, they can just contact them directly, send a direct message, and introduce themselves and start communication. Again, all of this is free for the teacher. And essentially at this point, they can jump straight into an interview and just begin that interview process straight away. And so that's a typical experience for a hiring school and a candidate. So I'll jump into next the candidate profile experience on Selected to give you a sense of what your students may experience. So once a student creates an account, they essentially just get dropped into an onboard, answer a series of questions to fill out the resume. So for example, the analogous type of fields that you would see on the candidate side as what schools can search for and filter for: start date, position types, employer types, locations that a student might be interested in. And all a student has to click is the location. And the great thing about it is that once you click a location, a student doesn't need to know the schools in the area or even the types of schools in the area. Schools just reach out to them because a school would know that, okay, I know this person's experience. I know that they want to teach in this state or region, grade level, and that match is very quick and immediate. Additionally, we have a resume builder that makes it very easy for students to highlight their best self. We know that students are often challenged in terms of highlighting certain things and what to move to the top, what to emphasize. We do that for them. Education, certifications, relevant experience, all this is built to support K through 12 candidates and present it in a way that makes that just presents them in the best possible way because we know what hiring schools are looking for. It includes also demographic information that is important to understand to the hiring school and to see if they're a match for the students that they serve. Those are the two biggest things, right? What the school sees, what the experience is on the candidate side, and going back to how Selected can support the School of Education is really providing a way to highlight your school and your students by adding you to this filter and highlighting students in that way. We also offer exclusive ways for schools of education to highlight them and their candidates across the board, across platform wide, across all regions. And the next thing that will be coming up soon is creating school profiles similar to a hiring school profile where you can see hiring schools in your area, connect with them directly in terms of student placement, in terms of just expanding your network so you can have more you can quickly create opportunities for your students to find new, different schools that they may not and you may not know of. Our goal at Selected is really to help students and teachers find the best fit, best match possible across all types of schools, public, private, religious, it doesn't matter. We just want to make sure that students find a great place and make it easy for schools or education to enable that to happen. So thanks again. I'm from Selected. Please reach out with us. Please reach out to us with any questions.